Hey friends, it's Sin. I'm finally back to do another review of Married at First Sight. This is for season 11, episode 10, Deal Breakers. So I'm finally back. I had to have my wisdom teeth taken out on the side. And I got a new kitten. So I've been MIA, and if I look a little strange, it's because I'm not fully healed, but I'm doing better. So we're gonna get into these couples, right? So let's start off with Christina and Henry. So they actually start off like in their kitchen, folding towels. And Christina's like, how do you fold your towels? And Henry's showing her, listen, I'm so nitpicky, but look, Henry was folding those towels correctly. He was doing the fold this way, then you do another fold. That's the way you fold the towel. I sound annoying, but that is. And Christina was showing him how to fold towels, and she was folding them wrong. I was getting mad. I'm ridiculous. I was like, that's not even how you fold towels. How you gonna tell him to show him a way, and you was doing it wrong? Those are ugly. But I'm ridiculous. So that's it with the with me being mad about the towels. I couldn't take it though. I hated how they looked. But after that, they go hang out with the couples. They hang out with Amani and Woody. They also hang out with Olivia and Brett. And that's all at this lunch. And everything seems to be going well. Christina and Henry are talking about how they are doing way better in their relationship. They're, communicating better. They're getting more comfortable with each other. Henry even says they went salsa dancing, and he thought that Christina was looking sexy. Right? So it seems to be going all right at the lunch, whatever, that they're having. Then Amani pulls Henry to the side. She wants to discuss things about the relationship. And Amani's like, hey, how is things going with Christina? Because she is a great person. So, what could be going bad? She is great. And Henry's like, yeah. He's making that face like, girl, great. Okay, she may have some nice things about her, but she got issues too. So he tells Amani that he has problems with her impatience, and he does say rude once. And he's like, that impatience could be a deal breaker for me. She's really impatient with the producers and Lifetime crew. She's really impatient, as a whole. And Amani's sitting there like, ooh, dang, what I done got myself into asking about this. So yeah, when he say deal breaker, Amani like, oh, shoot. So, Amani goes back to Christina and tells her this. Christina gets very upset. She's just like, why wouldn't he tell me this? I thought everything was going fine. Why would he tell you? Which makes a good point. Henry, you should tell Christina these things, not Amani, so that Christina would know. But he has said to her that impatience is an issue with him. He hasn't said deal breaker exactly. Right. The other thing is, I feel like Henry needs to really just say rude. She is impatient, but he needs to specify that it's both. She's impatient and the rudeness. I feel like the rudeness as a whole is what's bothering him, and he doesn't say rude often. He said rude once, but he knows her being rude is really what's not working for him. That's the real deal breaker, her rudeness. But he doesn't say that a lot. I feel like he wants to clean it up, make it sound nicer by saying impatient. Just say rude, boy, say you're rude. And that rudeness is too much for me. I don't like it. You're impatient, and your impatience makes you very rude. Just like that. But they get back to the house and they discuss this. And Christina's just like, listen, if you don't want to be an a-hole, if you don't really want to be in this relationship, just tell me, and I'll be the a-hole for us, because I don't want to get strung along. You never told me that was a deal breaker. You need to just tell me these stuff. I thought we was getting better at our communication. I'm like, come on, boy. And Christina get on my nerves, but I understand her, what she's saying. She's feeling like things are getting better. And then he tells Amani that he has things that he's mad about, but he didn't tell Christina. They need to express these things to each other, so that's what Henry should have done. So he does apologize and say that she's right. He should have said it to her, but he did say that is a deal breaker for him, and if he had to choose right now, he would not choose to stay with her. Which, of course, I know that that's the truth. And Christina is like, okay, so what would I have to morph into for you to want me to, be with me, be my wife? I'm like, Christina, girl, no. You don't need to be I'm not a big fan of her, but you don't need to be morphing into things with people. Her rudeness needs to change, but morphing yourself into something that someone wants you to be for them to like you or love you is not the way to go. No. Even if I don't like her personality that much, that is not the way to go. If she stops being so rude, That's what she needs to do. But don't morph into a whole new person. Girl, no, we have to have standards for ourselves and not morphing into things for men, even if you want to be married really badly. We're not doing that. No. And Christina also says, like, she doesn't want to get invested in this if it's not going to be anything. Like, why put heart into this, be invested, try to really make this marriage work if he's just like, yeah, everything about you is a deal breaker, I don't want to be with you. Which is a good point that she's making too. Like, if you don't want to be with me, just tell me so I don't have to do all of this. But Henry does say it's something he would like to overcome. I hate when you say stuff like that. You would like to overcome these issues, or are you going to? Are you going to try? He says that first, then he does explain more, says he's really invested, he didn't get into this for no reason, and he really does want to try and see how things go. I just still think it's not going to work, but they can try if they want. And I think Henry has a good point with not wanting to be with her because she's really rude. It's not his type of person he want to be with. But Christina's also right in that she wants him to communicate with her, and she would like to know, like, is this just a lost cause? Because why are we gonna do this if it is? What's the point? For TV? Nah, I don't want my heart broken for TV. So I understand both of their sides, but yeah, this ain't gonna work. Even if they try, and they might end up friends, but I just don't see it, y'all. Then it's Amelia and Bennett. They start off the episode going through like their chores. Last episode, Bennett had expressed that he was getting a little annoyed with not having the bathroom clean, and they need to clean up and have designated chores. So he writes down everything on these, what do they call those? Index cards. And they just grab one and decide what chores they're doing for the week. I think it's a good idea. I just don't see this lasting, which Amelia does say. So they do it. They grab each card and decide what chores they're gonna do for the week. And Amelia does say, like, to the producers, to the camera, that she is the breadwinner and she really expected him to do more housework. She didn't expect it to be her, especially when she's gonna do residency. She doesn't see this like going on. I think she's making a good point, honestly. He about to be a kept man. He better clean that house. And the thing is, though, she needs to tell him that. Don't just say these things, but don't say it to him. Just be like, hey, I can clean up sometimes, but when I do residency, I was expecting more for you to do more of the work because, you know, I'm going to be working a lot and making all the money and paying most of the bills. Just tell him, girl. I think that's Amelia's problem. She acts like everything is great, which they are doing really well, but she doesn't tell him things that are an issue for her, which she needs to do. Then Bennett plans this cute night because he says Amelia took care of him when he was sick, and he plans this night. He makes dinner, tofu with peanut sauce, look delicious, honestly. And his friends come in and they sing a song, y'all. Them friends and them, I don't know what was going on with the headdress, face mask stuff. They look strange, but like, what do you expect from Bennett's friends or Amelia's friends? Bennett is strange, like his friend. So they came and they sang a little song. The song was cute. They sang nicely, but the costumes, whatever was going on, no. But the singing and the song, cute. So they pop in, sing their song, leave. Amelia's like, yes, that was so cute, which it was. It was super cute to have his friends come sing. Get a little plug for your friends on TV. Also have a nice little, you know, gift for your wife. So they eat their dinner and everything. Everything goes fine with that. Later on in the episode, they're hanging out like at a park. And Bennett's just like, hey, what's some things that annoy you that I do? And let's talk about things that we get annoyed about that has to do with each other. So Bennett's like, I get annoyed that sometimes you don't clean the outside of the glasses when you wash dishes. And Amelia's like to the camera, oh, I didn't know. I guess I'll clean outside. Girl, you're supposed to clean the whole dish. I'm done with her. Amelia's a mess, literally. And Bennett's like, all right, what's some things about me that's annoying? She don't have nothing to say. She look off in the distance. I'm like, oh, I gotta think. Girl, you just said this morning that he want to plan out chores. Tell him that's annoying. Tell him that you don't want to do chores and it's annoying that he want to plan them out so much. She says nothing. He starts going down the list. Oh, I pick my nose. I do this. I do that. And she's just like, oh, that's fine. That's fine. And you can tell that Bennett's actually getting annoyed with the fact that she doesn't have anything about him that she thinks is annoying. He feels like she is too accommodating, probably. He's having a little issue with that. And I think Amelia just needs to just say it. She says to the camera, like, oh, there's such small things. Like, I don't think we need to talk about that type of stuff. But he's asking you to talk about it. So what? Girl, just talk about it. Like, that don't make no sense. Just say the stuff that makes you annoyed. Just let it, it's not that serious. Everybody has things that annoys them. Doesn't mean that you don't like the person, you know? So I just think she needs to not do that because it doesn't make any sense. And it's not gonna start a good precedent for communication in their relationship if you can't even tell small things like things that annoy you sometimes, you know? That's really it with them. Besides that, Bennett does say that if he was on a scale of like not in love to getting in love, he's real warm and gooey and hot. So he's close to being in love with Amelia. Ew. Even though she won't tell him things about being annoyed. So, yeah, they're still doing well, but Amelia needs to just speak up, and just tell the truth, and then I'm sure it'll be fine. That's all. Just don't be sitting there being meek and quiet for no reason when you got issues. Say it. Okay, that's it with them. Then it is Olivia and Brett. So we see they are not meshing well, which we've been seeing the past few episodes. Olivia just gets annoyed with a lot of things with Brett. She's making the bed. She don't like that he tries to make the bed with her. He's just trying to help, honestly. She thinks it's annoying. I think she should just tell him that or let him make the bed himself. You know, it's not that serious. So I think you should just say, listen, I want to make the bed by myself. All right, you go make coffee. Or just be like, oh, okay, you got the bed? I'll go make coffee, you know? Avoid, then the situation's done. Not that serious. But besides that, Brett does want to go rock climbing and he invites Olivia. Olivia's like, oh, this is good. We're going on a date. We're going to do stuff like, you know, have a little fun, get to know each other better, and really get into this marriage life that we're supposed to be having. So rock climbing actually goes well. They're rock climbing. They're both encouraging each other. It's going good. But when Olivia gets down from the rocks, whatever freak, them fake rocks, Brett obviously tries to kiss her. And she instead puts up her hand, moves back, and does a high five. I was like, ooh, awkward. I can't remember them kissing since, like, the wedding, honestly. So obviously he was trying to kiss her, and she was not with it. Then later on, Olivia and Brett go to trivia with Olivia's friends. And she's like, I feel like Brett would like this a lot. He loves trivia. I want him to meet my friends, have a good time. Brett is being annoying as usual. He's being so standoffish. He don't want to do the trivia. He kind of has an attitude. And I feel like this is just like typical Brett. The second something happens that he feel like he's not great at, or it's going to embarrass him because he doesn't know things, like Olivia making more money, or anything like that, where he feels like he's inferior, he gets very upset and standoffish, and then he's just throwing back the beers. That man be drinking. So it's just annoying. So they're doing like trivia, and he's like, oh, this isn't trivia. It is trivia though. It was trivia questions. It may not all be traditional trivia, but it was still trivia, and he was being annoying. I will say that Olivia's friends are a little intense. Like, they kept going like, Brett, what do you think? Brett. I was like, whoa, all right, calm down there. But he just, I always say it's not gonna work, but like, he has real issues. He has real issues with himself. He has problems with who he is, so he gets angry about anything. Olivia makes too much money. Oh, I'm insecure because I'm poor. And I make less money than her. Okay, you can make less money than her. It's not that serious though. Like, come on, everybody gotta make less money than somebody. And then he gets upset because he went to trivia, probably thought he was gonna know trivia, and he didn't know anything, so now he mad, wanna act like he don't wanna play. Just say you don't know. Sometimes he would say, oh, I don't know, but he's just like, this isn't trivia. Just looking ridiculous, you know? But like I said, friends were a little too intense. I think one of her friends was like, yeah, you better play. And I was like, oh God. But not even in a jokey way. She seemed dead serious. So I was like, reeling in a little bit, friends. And also, Brett, you annoying as always. So Olivia brings her friend outside, and she's just like, I don't know. Like, this man's annoying. I thought he was going to like trivia. He don't get along with my friends. Like, what? I feel like Olivia really don't want to do this. It's so obvious that she sees they are not meant to be together. And the more the show goes on, it's like, I honestly didn't think this was Olivia's personality. I'm glad this is. That she's just like, she's not with this with Brett. But I feel like she should just cut it off because it's really not going anywhere, like at all. So I feel like it's best if the next time they have a meeting with one of the experts, they just say, let's just be done, because it's not going well. Olivia, clearly he is not living up to any standards you want. He don't want to hang out. He don't want to pay and go nice places. He don't even want to hang out with your friend and do something cheap like trivia. The last episode when they went to that swamp, he was being annoying, and then he finally started being like opening up and enjoying it. It's just like, who wants to bring this person with them anywhere who has a bad attitude for everything? You know, like, I would want to keep him home, actually, just away from me, which means they should not be together. It's like, he has a poor attitude. He really does. So drop that man. Gosh, like I always say, but like, drop him. He annoying. I don't have time for it. So yeah, that's it with them though. Brett being annoying, Olivia being annoyed with him, and ooh, she did not get him that kiss. She was not playing with him. I was like, ooh, all right, just play him. Then it's Miles and Karen. So we know the previous episode that Miles brought up intimacy and having sex, and he did it honestly in a childish way. I think that Karen has issues talking about intimacy, just like she has issues with PDA and things in affection as a whole. But the way he approached the topic in the beginning was all right, but like he was being childish and then going to write like sex with my wife on the calendar, which he thought he was being like a joke. I can tell he was joking, but you gotta read the room. First of all, don't be doing stuff like that. It's childish. It's babyish. You're an adult. And you keep saying like, oh, I'm an adult even though I'm younger than you, but then you do something childish like write sex with my wife on the calendar. Come on now. Like, just no. So Karen got mad at that and she went and stayed at her own place that night. So that's what's happening this episode. They come back together and Karen is just like, okay, I just want to tell you that I felt disrespected. I did not feel safe because why would you write that? Like, we literally just had our first kiss and then you just throw in sex with my wife on the calendar. And I didn't like that. So Miles really is just sitting there kind of blankly for a while, and Karen just keeps explaining why she didn't like it. Like, you know, they're moving slowly, and she just feels like it's fine to bring up intimacy and things, but not just to just throw things out there on the calendar or weird stuff like that. And Miles does apologize for doing that. He says, you know, he shouldn't have did that. So, you know, they kind of make up, and Karen says she's going to be more affectionate, and that's kind of how it goes. But, yeah, I understand why she was upset. Like, you can tell the type of person she is. And there are things, like, that you just shouldn't do and say. Like, I even thought it was annoying that Woody kept bringing up sex. Remember? That annoyed me. And there's nothing wrong with Miles bringing up intimacy. But don't be childish, you know? There's ways to really talk about things without being childish, jumping up, putting things on the calendar. And, like, it's just annoying. It's annoying and childish. And, yeah, that's why she got mad at you. Besides that, Miles and Karen do hang out with Ben and Amelia. They playing this weird game. I don't even understand the rules, and they just throwing balls. Every time someone wins a round, they get to tell their partner to kiss them anywhere they would like. So Miles wins a few times. He gets kisses on the cheek, and the last time he wants a kiss on the lips. Y'all, this was awkward as hell. They get a little awkward, honestly, Miles and Karen. It took forever for this kiss to happen. And yeah, just weird. I don't know. They got awkward vibes, but it's because Karen doesn't like PDA. It's probably why it was so awkward. Yeah, just awkward. That's it. But besides that, they also go to get massages. So Karen takes Miles to this place where she's giving him a massage because she wants to, you know, be able to show more intimacy and affection towards him. So she gives him a massage and he's enjoying it and it's going well. And I feel like this was a nice part, you know, the relationship is going on up and up. Karen is really trying to think about things that she doesn't do in a relationship, and she's trying to, like, you know, probably fix those a little bit. I think she sees that she is very, like, she has this wall up, and she's trying to have more intimacy and affection because she knows that Miles needs those type of things. Which is nice, and especially when she just was really annoyed with him being childish, I think that she actually is doing a good job right now. But Miles meets up with Woody at some point to get haircuts, and he is expressing things that he don't even like. And this is Miles' problem. He's like, Amelia, you should tell Karen some of these stuff. I feel like he's so afraid of her, like, getting upset with something he says that he doesn't want to express things to her. And even though he was wrong with the last thing he did, there's still nothing wrong with you expressing yourself and saying things that you don't like about a relationship. Everything can't be what Karen wants. You know, he has wants too, and this is what Karen said can be a problem in their relationship, is that he just doesn't say anything, you know? He just lets everything be about her, and she doesn't want that to happen. So he's like telling Woody, yeah, she didn't come home tonight and I was very upset. I wanted her to be there at least, and I didn't want to call her because I feel like she don't like if I call her. So he's just thinking about all these things, but he didn't tell her that. So I think he should have apologized for everything he did. Talk about how he was being childish. How, yeah, it wasn't respectful to just throw sex up there when you know this is not how this is working out. Like, this is a slow-paced relationship. Don't try to do that. And that'll pressure her into having sex, which you said you didn't want to pressure anyone. But also say, yeah, I messed up. I should have never did that. But I really did wish that you would have stayed at the house because we could talk things out. You know, I didn't want you to leave and not come back. And also, I was worried about you because I didn't know if you were safe. Tell her those things. Don't keep it all bottled in. Wait until you see Woody and then tell him. And Woody's like, ooh, I don't know about this relationship. And Woody tells Miles that he actually told Amani that he loves her. And Miles was like, ooh, if I said to Karen, she would run away. But, like, that actually does make sense. Like, I don't know. Y'all only been together 3 weeks. It's not weird if somebody would find it a little strange if you said you loved them. It's not weird. I don't think it's weird if somebody found it a little strange. They're not at that type of point in their relationship. So I could see her going like, what? You love me? And Woody was like, why would she do that? Woody, stop. It actually makes sense. It's a little much sometimes for people to just be throwing it out there. But that's really it with Miles and Karen. Now I'm going to talk about Woody and Amani. So we start off the episode with Woody and Amani eating like breakfast, and they end up talking about spanking, whooping children. And Woody's like, yeah, I got whooped every day when I was a child. Not good, Woody. Not good at all. And Amani's like, okay, yeah, but we're not giving our children whoopings. That's not going to happen. I didn't get them, and I'm not giving them to my children. And Woody kind of is arguing with her, like he wants this to happen. Like if they have children, he want to beat them. And Amani's like, look, you have students. If they do something wrong, do you hit them? Can they still learn without being hit? And he's like, oh, you right. I never thought about that. So she is convincing him. But I'm like, yeah, Amani, definitely tell him. Because like now, we don't beat children. That's not what's going down. No matter what happened when you were a child and how much he wants to probably explain that it helped him and say it was good for him, and no, it wasn't. It's unfortunate that people will take trauma, and I mean, it's just the way they have to survive, and they make it seem like it was good for them, because if they had to really sit there and think about the trauma that happened to them, it would bother them too much. So instead, it's easier to just say, yeah, I deserved it. I needed those things. I needed that to be a good person. But then he says it didn't work for him, which means those two aren't going together. Did you need it to work for you to be a good person? But you said that beatings never work for you, but you got them every day. See? Or it doesn't make any sense. Listen to your wife, because she's smart. Maybe no hitting children, like, it's very simple. So Amani's just like, yeah, if he hit my child and we was together, no. She's like, we would get divorced. Exactly. See, that's why I love Amani. She be knowing what she be talking about. She be knowing. Besides that, they also go to dinner, have a little date, and Amani and Woody are discussing that Woody said that he loved Amani last episode, and he's like, does that put any pressure on you? Do you feel a certain way? And Amani's like, it does and it doesn't. Like, it doesn't put pressure. She's saying, like, she has to take her time to fall in love, and that is just what's going to happen. She said, but also she feels pressure to keep that love from him. Like, she feels pressure to make sure he still loves her and doesn't fall out of love as quickly as he fell in love. So she's clearly afraid that this relationship moved really fast. Clearly they got married first sight, but 3 weeks in, he's saying he loves her. So she's afraid that, he's like a fall fast, fall out of love type of guy. And honestly, I didn't discuss last episode because I didn't do a review, but that whole, I love my wife was very strange. That's the weirdest way. That's how you tell somebody you love them. Okay, Woody, like, strange. Just say I love you, or don't say it, but like, don't say I love my wife. What the freak was that? I was like, what are you talking about right now? But that's really it with them, and I really feel like if Amani feels like he could fall in love so easily, there are some underlining things going on here. Like, she definitely sees how fast this moved, and she doesn't want him to be that type of person. You know, that's just like all in 1 second and then out the next. And she's just trying to make sure that that doesn't happen. That this isn't the whirlwind love story that like starts really fast and then everything is just to shambles. So she's going at her own pace, taking her time. And it's not weird. It is 3 weeks. So, I mean, he can also say he's in love with her in 3 weeks if he wants. But he has to let her take her time. And hopefully, I feel like he should reassure her, though, that there's no pressure to be falling out of love. That should be a reassurance. Like, you don't have to feel pressure to tell me you love me. You say it when you feel it. And you also don't have to feel like I'm going to fall in love with you in a certain amount of time because it's how I feel. I feel like he needs to say that because that's not what he said. He didn't say anything really. But that's really it. With this episode. That is it for my review of Married at First Sight, Season 11, Episode 10, Deal Breakers. What should be a deal breaker is Brett being annoying and having an attitude and standoffish all the time. Olivia, get out of there. That's basically what should be happening. But that's it, y'all. I'll see y'all on my next one. Bye.